Hey, so just quickly before this video starts, I just wanted to say that I'm very sorry for not uploading the past 2.5 weeks. I've been very busy with a lot of personal stuff, so to try and make up for it, I will be uploading 2 videos this weekend, followed by 2 videos next weekend, which is different from what I had planned, which is normally just the one. That'll catch us right up, and then it'll be one video after that, preferably. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Over the past 7 years, many young Scottish players have decided to take their talents to Italy. Now, on paper, this may seem extremely random. There's more behind it on the footballing side. So, join me today as we dive in to the many reasons why young Scottish players are deciding to swap the rainy days of Scotland for the sunny shores of Italia. Since 2018, when Liam Henderson decided to swap Edinburgh for Italy, no more than 8 Scottish players have signed for Italian clubs. These being Aaron Hickey, who moved to Bologna from Hearts, Josh Doig from Hibs to Verona, Lewis Ferguson from Aberdeen to Bologna, Jack Hendry to Cremonense on loan from Celtic, Che Adams moved from Southampton to Torino, and Scott McTominay, Billy Gilmour are both at Napoli. Those may be the most prominent. And now Lennon Miller, the 18-year-old, is one of the hottest talents in Scottish football, highly regarded at Motherwell. But this summer, he swapped Motherwell for Udinese in Italy. Now, those numbers don't exactly look like a lot, but until Liam Henderson went to Italy, there had only been 3 Scottish players in the history of Serie A, and the last was Graham Souness in the mid-80s. So, why are Italian clubs deciding to buy Scottish players every summer? It seems quite odd, if you ask me. Well, there are 2 distinctly different types of Scottish footballers to arrive in Italy in recent years. They're either youngsters took directly from Scotland or players who are already established. McTominay, Gilmour and Che Adams fall into the latter category. The trio were experienced pros and Scotland regulars who had racked up a combined 383 Premier League appearances by the time of their move. If anything, Napoli and Torino's decisions to invest in them last summer followed a separate trend, that of Italian clubs looking to pick up Premier League players. Players with a point to prove, players seeking game time, or just players wanting a fresh challenge. The Scottish trio could still help to smooth the path from Scotland to Italy though, thanks to their role in changing the Braveheart image that persists in Italy, that Scots being blood and thunder, hard-hitting players who relish physical battles, but can be found wanting technically. McTominay quashed that notion with a spectacular debut season in Italy, winning the MVP award after his stunning overhead kick on the final day against Cagliari, his 12th of that season, and it helped seal the club's 4th Italian title. Adams also scored 10 in his debut season, which was an admirable haul, and it made him Torino's top scorer by some distance. Napoli manager Antonio Conte praised Gilmour's technique and vision after the playmaker made an impact for Napoli moving in the second half of last season. Conte said, and I quote, "He's a fantastic player, he takes the ball under pressure, looks before receiving the ball, and always knows where the ball is going. A big personality. I love him." The more Scots who come to Serie A, the more confidence that Scottish players who may be eyeing a move to the league, looking for a new challenge. There are success stories to draw on and friendly faces to chat to about any doubts players may have before moving. As Che Adams himself has explained, he said, "Before arriving in Turin, I spoke to Lewis to understand what life was like in Italy and what the league is like. I also spoke about it with others, for example, Scott and Billy Gilmore, comparing notes on life off the pitch. What about the young players, though, like Lennon Miller, who was taken directly from the Scottish top flight? Italian sides have shown tendency to use the Scottish market as a source of technical excellence rather than the physical grunt. While Henderson is a tireless runner, he was often among the players covering the most ground during his time in the league. He's also a threat in the final third, as 49 goal contributions in Italy would tell you. Aaron Hickey also impresses, a two-footed fullback who could play on either flank. At Bologna, where he was nominated for the Golden Boy Award and scored 5 goals from defence in his second season before ending this big money move to Brentford in the Premier League. Former Hibernian left-back Josh Doig's attacking threat has been the greatest asset to both Verona and Sassuolo, and he looks better prepared than ever to make a splash in the top flight this season at the age of 23, after a good campaign in Serie B. But Lewis Ferguson has been the greatest revelation, winning the Premio Bulgarelli for Serie A Midfielder of the Year in 2023-24, after scoring 6 goals to fire the Rosé-Bleu into the Champions League, then returning from ACL injury to captain Bologna to their first trophy in 51 years with the Coppa Italia last season. Bologna's sporting director, Marco Di Vaio, was delighted with the decision to dip into the Scottish market twice in the space of 2 years, telling The Athletic that the deals for Hickey and Ferguson were, quote, great for us. We were able to get players with great mentalities and work ethics. They gave 100% every day. They've got quality. They were 2 very positive surprises. All 4 of the players who made direct moves from Scotland to Italy in the last 7 years have been a success, despite all of them taking the leap between the ages of 18 and 22. However, there has been more hype around the 18-year-old Lennon Miller than any of his predecessors coming from Scotland, likely because of the fierce competition for his signature and his increased profile after earning his first senior caps for Scotland in June. But confidence in his ability to settle will no doubt have been increased by the examples before. And Udinese are nothing if not confident. The club called Miller one of the brightest talents in Europe on his arrival at the club, while head coach Costa Runyac had dubbed him as an extraordinary talent before he's even kicked a ball for Udinese. There is one more reason that Italian clubs are placing their transfer window in Scotland: cold, hard cash. Now, not only do Scots players tend to thrive in Serie A, be it as raw youngsters or established talents, but the financial benefit of shopping in the Premiership can be huge. Aaron Hickey's move to Bologna from Hearts really set the bar in this regard. Within just 2 years, the Rosé-Bleu sold the fullback to Brentford for £17 million, roughly 10 times what they'd paid for him. Verona also cashed in on Josh Doig, selling him to Sassuolo after 18 months for a reported €6.5 million, almost double the £3 million that they had paid to Hibernian. Bologna would have found themselves enjoying a similar situation with Lewis Ferguson. However, the injury to his ACL in 2023-24 did hamper this. The midfielder only cost him $3 million when he joined from Aberdeen in 2022. But after 3 standout years, he is now valued at about £24 million. And few would raise an eyebrow if he went for even more than that. There is money to be made then, investing in Scotland. Udinese will undoubtedly have had that in mind when they forked out a reported $4.75 million to Motherwell for Miller. A fee that marked a record sale for Motherwell, but a relatively small spend for the Italian side. Should the teenage prodigy shine under the guidance of Costa Runyac, it will surely deepen a rapidly growing conversation among clubs in Italy that the Scottish market is worth serious consideration, be their motives financial or even technical, or short-term or long-term. Now, what do you think about Scottish players making the move from Scotland to Italy? just let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.